Right, good afternoon. The subject of the water charges, it's a topic that it's up in the media, and we've seen it here ourselves in the north. It's a looming threat of water charges. I'd say the threat of water charges is something we all be familiar with. While the subject might be in the minds of many due to the mass campaign against the water charges in the south and the popular support of non-payment that has arisen from it, it is a fight that ourselves in the north will be very familiar with. Following the St Andrews Agreement 2006, the parties would go on to form, the parties that would go on to form the executive all claimed to have won concessions on major social and economic issues. However, out of that agreement, the plans were set in motion to introduce domestic water charges and a privatisation of the service, and this was set to go ahead on the 1st of April 2007. The imposition of this charge made it even more odious when it's taken into consideration that a portion of the council rates would still go towards investment in what will be a private water service. The public was essentially being asked to pay for their water twice. This set in motion the formation of a campaign of non-payment under the banner "We Won't Pay." This campaign won the backing of all the major unions, Pt5, and firm and active support from the Workers' Party. This campaign had broad popular support. To this day, you can still see homes and cars with "We Won't Pay" stickers in their windows. And indeed, we didn't pay it. The popular campaign and the threat of non-payment made the executive parties put a stop to the charges and the privatisation that was set to go ahead in 2007. But they did not put a stop to it entirely. The can was merely kicked down the road. The two programmes for government in 2008 and 2011 both sidelined the issue of water charges but never put it to bed. The Water and Sewerage Services Bill in 2013 added a further year onto the delay of the water charges. This means that the imposition of a second charge for your water can come up as soon as 2016. This is next year, comrades. This next year is not far away. Furthermore, vital groundwork for water charges has already been carried out over the past number of years. Whenever maintenance work has been carried out on water mains and water infrastructure, the fixtures and fittings for the easy installation of water meters has been installed. There are plans afoot to begin water charges and the charging of water in the north. Even the bills were printed in 2006-2007 and they remain in storage, easily accessible to be sent out at any time. So it becomes important for us as a party and as socialists to reaffirm why we oppose water charges and to consider how we can organise and oppose this threat. The human right to water has been enshrined in many United Nations and other international documents, various human rights treaties and other declarations. The main papers explicitly dealing with the right to water are the 1979 Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, the 1989 Convention on the Rights of the Child, and the International Covenant on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights. These are all being welcomed, and while, at least in my personal opinion, the United Nations can be hit and miss, the inclusion of water rights as a subject of consideration by the UN is something to be welcomed. However, I also believe that the human right to water can be summarised in a very simple way. If you don't drink water, you die. It can't be any simpler than that. The Workers' Party is a party that campaigns and fights to increase the living standards of working people and those who are cast aside by capitalism. One of the very basic components of good standard living is being alive. From a more theoretical socialist perspective, water charges could also be a further step down the line of commodification of water. We can already see it with the myriad brands of bottled water on the shelves of supermarkets and the frankly obscene water menu we have in the Merchant Hotel in Belfast. £26 for a bottle of water when the majority of people on the planet don't have access to clean water. But at least there's a source of potable water in the vast majority of homes in Northern Ireland where practically unlimited amounts of water can be had. The imposition of a water charge would be creating a profitable product out of one of the base necessities of life. It'll be taxing the air next. So if the topic of water charges comes up in 2016, and given the executive papers produced by civil servants in 2014 urging ministers to reconsider their position on water charges as a prudent matter, I imagine it will pop up again. So how do we organise in opposition to this? For this, it's vital to look at not only the previous campaign in the north, but also at the mass campaign presently ongoing in the Republic. What have been the similarities between those two campaigns that made them both in their own certain way successful. In both, there is a high level of cooperation between trade unions, political parties and community groups, and this would be vital for strategic organisation and running of a campaign, but the most vital component was the mass swell of popular support from the people in their own communities. It was this that made both campaigns work. The charges won't be defeated by a committee meeting, they'll be defeated by mass public pressure. Secondly, a key component would be a steadfast dedication to non-payment of any water charge that might be imposed. In our neoliberal and capitalist society as it stands, money talks, and a lack of money where money should be screams. When looking at the rates of non-payment of water charges in the South, the latest figures I've seen were from July past, and there was only 43% of households paid their water bill. That, on top of all the scandals, internal scandals about the higher up staff in Irish Water, really just shows that it's a dead duck, and if anything, perhaps those who did pay in the South might have felt intimidated by possible legal action in the paying the first bill. But when they look at the support and they know there's a mass movement behind non-payment, they could be, suppose they could be supportive in that. They could find support in that they know there's a mass payment there, mass movement of non-payment. And they could find the support there to stand up, like so many others have done, and not pay maybe their second bill, and so on. However, it does remain important that those who organise and run the campaign stand firmly beside anyone who might be threatened with legal action and support them as part of the struggle. People cannot be left high and dry, as has happened before in previous campaigns of non-payment. So, comrades, this is the task ahead of us, and it's a task we must put into motion rapidly. 2016 is only 2 months away, and this is something we cannot be caught off guard on. We have the experience and we have the examples to look upon. It is vital that we now gather this knowledge and put in place a plan that will put down the threat of water charges permanently.